Rivals Radio. Welcome back to Rivals Radio with Wally and Dee.
Back again.
I know we're all excited for the pro draft coming up, but we wanted to take a second first and just welcome all the new listeners that we've got since we started this show.
Yeah, we got a lot of new folks finding the show and finding the league.
It's been amazing.
And we appreciate all of you guys so much.
So for those of you that are new and maybe hearing about this for the first time, what is Football Rivals?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
What is this thing?
Yeah, it's more than fantasy football.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 2 leagues under the Football Rivals umbrella.
Right.
We've got the brand new Football Rivals Pro League.
Okay.
This is getting ready to kick off its inaugural draft.
Right.
And then we've got the Football Rivals College Series.
Okay.
And they are wrapping up their second year with a championship game coming up between undefeated Oklahoma,
Wow.
led by Buck McCarthy at quarterback,
Okay.
and undefeated Michigan, led by freshman
Oh, wow.
phenom Burt Bean.
So how is this different than just watching a college football game on TV?
Well, it's really about blurring the lines
Okay.
between being a fan and being a part of the story. The whole idea behind Football Rivals is to create this living, breathing sports world.
Okay.
It's not just video game characters.
Yeah.
These are players and teams with detailed backstories,
Right.
evolving rivalries,
Okay.
and, passionate fan bases
That are really into
that
it.
are deeply invested. Yeah.
So you're telling me that fans actually get to decide what happens in the league?
They influence what happens.
Right.
It's a mix of simulation
Okay.
and fan participation.
Okay.
So the games themselves are simulated using EA Sports Madden,
Right.
but fans get to weigh in on key decisions through voting
Okay.
and community discussions.
So it's like a choose your own adventure, but for an entire football league.
Exactly. It's about creating that sense of ownership,
Wow.
giving fans a real stake in the outcome.
So you're not just watching. You're
Yeah.
helping write the story.
Exactly. And plus, it's fun to argue with your friends about who's going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Trash talk is part of it.
It's part of the game.
It's a national pastime.
It is. It is.
So let's talk about these 32 new pro teams that are part of this league.
Brand new teams. Yeah.
With all these different themes, like you got the Canton Crush, you got the Houston Hoplites with that Spartan Roman vibe,
The Hoplites. Yeah.
you got the Virginia Beach Bombers with the spooky, like, ghost
The
theme.
Bombers. Yeah. And you can't forget about the Sacramento Peaks
Oh, yeah, the Sacramento Peaks.
and their zombie snowboarder aesthetic.
Yeah, they went all in on that one.
They did.
But it's not just cool names and logos.
No.
Like, these themes actually factor into, like, the storylines and the rivalries in the league.
Yeah. It's built in,
So the Houston Hoplites and the San Antonio Law,
Mm.
like you get ancient warriors versus modern lawmen.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea, right?
It's brilliant.
It's to build these in narratives.
Yeah.
And the fans love it.
So we got all this, we got the immersive experience, we got the fan participation, we got the wild teams and rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
What about the players?
Right.
What makes a Football Rivals player special?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
We got these different tiers of players, like X Factor players and superstar players.
Right.
They have these unique abilities.
Okay.
And, these guys can really swing the momentum of a game.
Like the superstars of football.
Yeah, think like LeBron James,
Yeah.
Tom Brady of Football Rivals.
They could just change the game.
It can single-handedly change the course of a season.
Wow. And we're talking about guys like Andrew Frost,
Andrew
the
Frost,
0-year Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
You got Nigel Crothers,
another league MVP.
Jarius Harper.
All these guys have become household names in this league.
So we got all these established players, and then we've got the pro draft coming up.
That's right.
And that's going to introduce a whole new class of players.
A whole new generation of stars.
We got guys coming out of the college series.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Mack, the quarterback,
That's right.
Alvin Thompson.
Bruising halfback.
That Michigan offensive line
Oh, man.
is half of that Michigan offensive line eligible for the draft.
Half of them are draft eligible this year.
So some GM is going to get like a fully formed offensive line
I know, right?
in one draft.
It's going to be amazing.
That's wild.
Yeah, and the draft order is set.
Okay.
The Canton Crush have the first pick.
Wow.
They're in a great position to really snag a franchise-defining player.
That's crazy that you say that, like franchise-defining player.
Yeah.
Because even though it's a simulated league,
Right.
you still get that sense of history and legacy being built
Absolutely.
through every single season.
And you're a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like you're witnessing the birth of a new football dynasty.
Mm-hmm. It's true. You really see that history.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the wins and losses.
Right.
It's about the stories that unfold along the way.
Right.
We've seen players rise from obscurity to become legends.
Right.
We've seen teams
Yeah.
go from perennial underdogs to championship contenders.
So how deep does the sports soap opera go?
Oh man, it's woven into the fabric of the league.
Yeah.
Each team
Yeah.
has their own internal drama,
Right.
whether it's a quarterback controversy,
Oh yeah.
a star player demanding a trade,
Of course.
a coach clashing with the front office.
Right.
And then you have the inner team rivalries,
Right.
which can get really heated.
Yeah.
Sometimes it spills over into social media.
I get.
Fans get involved in the trash talk.
So they're not just watching the drama.
It's all part of the fun.
They're helping create the drama.
Right, and that's one of the things that sets football rivals apart
Yeah.
from traditional sports leagues. Right.
Fans aren't just passive observers.
Right.
They're active participants.
Yeah.
They can vote on key decisions.
Okay.
Like whether a team should go for it on 4th down.
Wow.
Or whether a player should be traded.
Okay.
It really gives them that sense of ownership.
So like one giant
Makes them feel like they're part of the team.
collaborative story, but football exact at the center of it.
And because it's all happening online,
Right.
it's accessible to fans all over the world.
Makes sense.
You don't have to live in a certain city or state
Yeah.
to be a diehard fan.
Yeah.
You can connect with other fans.
Right.
Share your opinions.
Okay.
Really get immersed in the world of football rivals,
That's cool.
no matter where you are.
That makes a lot of sense why the league's been blowing up.
Yeah, it's like the perfect storm
It feels like it.
of sports gaming and online community,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's only going to get bigger and better from here.
Well, they're already talking about adding new features,
Okay.
expanding the league,
Right.
giving fans even more ways to interact and shape the narrative.
It feels like they're really committed
Yeah,
to pushing the boundaries of what a sports league can be.
absolutely. And that's why I think Football Rivals is so special.
Right.
It's not just about watching games.
Yeah.
It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself,
Right?
connecting with other fans, sharing your passion,
Yeah.
and creating memories that will last a lifetime.
You've tapped into that need for belonging
Exactly.
and amplified it
Yeah.
through this immersive digital experience.
It's the future.
Exactly. That's why I believe Football Rivals has the potential
Yeah.
to become a major force in the sports world.
Right.
It's not just a passing fad.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Speaking of movement,
Yeah.
that championship game
It's happening.
between Oklahoma and Michigan.
Oklahoma and Michigan, it's going down.
Oh, man.
Buck McCarthy versus Burt Bean. What a matchup.
Two of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the league
Wow.
going head to head for the title.
And then you get the pro draft after that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nuts.
You got all this young talent coming out of the college series.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating to see how these pro teams approach the draft.
Right.
Who will rise to the top, who will fall short of expectations,
Right.
and which teams will make the moves that define their franchises.
These are the questions
Years to come.
that keep me up at night.
I know, right?
I'm so excited for this.
But hey, that's part of the fun.
It is?
The speculation, the predictions,
Right.
the endless debates, it's all part of being a fan,
You're right. You're right.
you know?
I love Football Rivals.
Yeah,
It's more than just a game.
more than a game.
It's a way of life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So all you new listeners out there,
Yeah.
welcome to the Football Rivals Center.
We're glad you're here.
You're in for one heck of a ride.
You are.
But before we wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave you with some food for thought. So we talked about how immersive the league is and the wild teams and rivalries. But what's the bigger picture here?
Yeah,
Could a league like this,
right.
with everything it's got going for it, actually challenge the popularity of real sports?
That's a question we've been asking ourselves.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to think about how the lines between virtual and reality
Right.
are becoming more and more blurred these days.
It's like we're living in the future.
I know.
Esports is exploding,
Right.
streaming is king,
It is.
and Football Rivals just taps into all of that.
It does. It's a league built for the digital age, where you're not just a spectator, you're a participant.
And the community is so passionate
Oh, yeah.
and creative.
So creative.
It's not hard to imagine it just becoming this major force
I agree.
in the sports world.
Yeah.
So to all our new listeners out there, welcome to the future of football,
This is it.
where you're not just watching.
Just shaping it.
This is Football Rivals.
And it's just getting started.
That's it for this episode of Rivals Radio with Wally and Dee. We'll catch you next time for more Football Rivals action.
Until then, stay tuned and stay hyped for the draft.
It's Rivals Radio.